On the latest episode of Real Time with Bill Maher, he gave his take on the difference between Republicans and Democrats. Take a look.
Politics in this country is binary. You have to wear everything anyone on your side does. Republicans are the party of don't wear masks, kids in cages, lock her up, and Democrats are the party of every hypersensitive social justice warrior woke story in the news.
It's a complete smackdown. Bill Maher pulls no punches, and you can practically feel the sting in the air. The backlash? A total meltdown from the left. But what did Joy Behar say this time to make Maher walk out? Maher seems to relish in throwing jabs at people's appearances, sidestepping their real qualifications. A classic move reminiscent of The View's behavior, right? But did Maher go straight for the jugular and roast them directly? Or did he take aim at their glaring hypocrisy instead? His response is a masterclass in dismantling arguments piece by piece, and he doesn't hold back. What happened next? The tension in the room says it all.
Isn't it interesting that I don't think they meant this when Barbara Walters invented it a long time ago, but it's The View.
Well,
that's the problem in America. There is one view,
right, and
one
that's clearly
true opinion, and everybody else.
Classic Bill Maher. He doesn't hold back, calling out The View for being more of a one-sided lecture than a real discussion. When one co-host gets completely sidelined just for offering a different perspective, Maher's point practically validates itself. But did he just skim the surface, or did he really dig into how this kind of thinking is ruining political discourse? Spoiler alert, it's a full-on roast, and Maher's takedown is a textbook lesson in hypocrisy. He's calling out the binary political mindset that demands blind loyalty from both sides. It's tribalism at its worst. Democrats back every eye. Controversy, Republicans double down on hardline stances. Maher doesn't stop there. He flips the script, arguing that if B. Levitt were a Democrat, she'd be hailed as the next feminist icon. But because she's connected to Trump, she's dismissed as nothing more than just a size 10 Greg Gutfeld. And speaking of Gutfeld, you can bet he's having a field day with all of this. So what's really at play here? Is Maher's main target The View itself, or is he really taking aim at their blatant double standards? Either way, the tension is palpable. Maher's not just making waves, he's shaking the foundation of political discourse.
Is she really a 10? We'll be right back.
Jesse was a 7.
Joy Behar calls her a 10. I mean, how dare she objectify a woman with a sexist rating system, but it's such a typical thing from a 1.5.
He didn't pull any punches, straight for the jugular. Let's be real here. If the roles were reversed, Bill Maher would be leading the charge against this kind of overt sexism. But because it's her doing it, the hypocrisy is glaring. The irony? While B. Levitt is out there proving she's more than just a pretty face, Maher is busy tossing cheap shots instead of presenting any real, thoughtful argument. And then came that final jab from Greg Gutfeld. -1, absolutely brutal. But did he elaborate on it, or was that his mic drop moment? At this point, the hypocrisy feels more like performance art than anything else. When a liberal woman faces criticism, it's sexism. But when a conservative woman gets dragged for her looks, suddenly it's fair game. The mental gymnastics involved here are at Olympic levels. And don't even get me started on that defense. Claiming that disliking a laugh is misogyny. That's playing by a rule book where she's always the victor no matter what. Honestly, it's becoming exhausting to watch. But the real question, did anyone actually call her out on air? Or did her co-hosts just continue to pretend everything was business as usual? These takes are starting to sound like political mad. Libs, throw in a few buzzwords, stir in some outrage, and boom, you've got yourself a segment. And then there's Maher's logic. It's so off the rails, it's almost impressive. Naturally, Ben Shapiro wasn't having any of it. When someone makes a statement this wild, you can almost hear Shapiro winding up to obliterate it with lightning speed. So, what did he fire back with this time? You can bet it's going to be a reaction you won't want to miss. Their own inconsistencies are quickly becoming their downfall. Instead of addressing real issues, they toss out buzzwords like a malfunctioning slot machine, hoping something will land. But here's the thing. Sometimes things are just annoying. Not sexist, not racist, just plain irritating. Take Kamala, for example. She laughs off the challenge of grading Biden's speeches. Meanwhile, tweets stir up chaos, but not in the way The View would have you believe. It's the same tired routine. Critique a leftist darling, and suddenly you're labeled as something awful. Avoid engaging in meaningful debate, trash the critic, and pretend the problem doesn't even exist. But here's the twist. The public's starting to catch on. They're waking up to the game being played. The more they try to shut down conversation with tired labels, the more people see through it. And guess what? The cracks are starting to show. If this breakdown has you seeing things a little differently, go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications. You won't want to miss what comes next. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you in the next video.